ISIS has a new thing that they banned in the territory that they're holding. Reuters explains, ISIS urged Muslims to destroy their satellite TV sets to prevent hostile channels destroying their beliefs and polluting their ethics. They continue, the ultra-hardline Sunni group issued its call as military pressure increased against it, with offensives targeting its strongholds in Syria and in Falluja, west of Baghdad. Quote, the enemies of Islam are waging a media war on the Islamic State that is no less dangerous than the military campaign. All right, so they have, there's two reasons why they're doing this. First of all, they're actually in the midst of losing territory and losing a lot of it, and they don't want their people to know that because it might foster unrest and even revolt in some cases. So they're telling them, turn it off because they don't want them to know the facts. They just want them to, they want to put on the facade of, oh yes, great power, and we're thriving. Everything's going great. Meanwhile, not so much. We learned they're losing plenty of ground in Syria, for example. And also, you have the Iraqi army, which is kind of unexpected because a year ago, 2 years ago, the Iraqi army sucked nuts. But now they're actually taking back more territory, and they're actually right near Falluja right now, trying to take that back, and they paused at the last second. And some articles, one from Business Insider said they're afraid that there's too many civilian casualties if they move now and in the way that they were planning, so they're going to hold off, and then they're going to go very soon. So that's the first reason. They don't want people to know what's happening and how they're crumbling a little bit. But then the other reason is they want to shun any and all foreign Western influence. There's a good reason why they do that, too. When you see what it's like, most people like it. So, for example, I've mentioned on air before, a friend of mine, born and raised in Iran, at one point indeed was an Islamist in Iran, even went as far as voting for Ahmadinejad at one point. And then one of the things that led to his deconversion, if you will, was stumbling across Western entertainment, stumbling across all the different TV shows and stuff. And no matter what you think of America or the West in general, there's a lot of just really, really good entertainment. Well done, well produced, well directed. You take your pick, whether it's Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, yada yada. And when you have entertainment like that and you have stuff like that, people get sucked into it. And when you get sucked into it, you start to look at the actors and, just the culture from which these people come out of, and it humanizes them. So if you're taught from when you're younger, oh my God, America and the West is so bad in every single way. They are so terrible. They are the worst ever. And then, you see stuff that comes from that culture and you really, really enjoy it. Well, then it's hard to convince yourself that all the bullshit people have been telling you from the beginning isn't bullshit. Because you're going to think, what the fuck did they know? Have they even seen this awesome stuff that I'm seeing that came from this place? They should, because that might change their opinion on it. So it's hard when you have satellite TVs and, whatever, they're pumping in just all kinds of stuff. They're pumping in music videos and they're pumping in these great shows and these movies and so on and so forth. People, they're going to sit there, they're going to like it, and they're going to go, maybe not so bad. ISIS can't have that. So what do? The classic authoritarian move, do an iron grip on power. So tell people, you have to destroy your satellite dish. Another story came out that, these ISIS members were beheaded for selling cigarettes and doing stuff like that. When you don't have what is an innately appealing group or message, well, then you have to pivot to, how do I maintain the stronghold? By force. I can't win in the realm of ideas and philosophies and, be genuinely appealing. So after you get enough people to get involved and come in, well, then you shut it down, lock it down, and maintain this iron grip through force. Either you do what I say or I kill you. Well, it's no surprise that something like that is beginning to unravel and crumble, and the opposition is now seemingly much stronger. That doesn't mean there's nothing to worry about, but it does mean that, I would say it is probably a matter of time. it is probably a matter of time until something like that collapses. And I would also argue that nobody should disregard the obvious religious angle of this and the ideological brainwashing, okay? And also we shouldn't disregard the geopolitical realities that have fed into this monster coming about, like the war in Iraq, for example, toppling Saddam, the Baathists teaming up with Sunni fundamentalists, and that leading to ISIS. So there's many different angles to this, but one thing's for sure, they're absolutely petrified of Western culture because it's kind of awesome.